I just won the remote regional with 60 card, Yummy, Azamina, Striker, Mitsurugi, Radiant, and the deck's just every game was destruction, bro. Almost everything was a 2-0. And I get straight into this video right now. Anytime a duel against meta, it was Annihilation 2-0. Destruction. Played a bunch of random stuff, a bunch of Radiant, and it just 2-0 every time. So let's get straight into it. Before we do, I released a Yummy Azamina Masterclass showing basically this exact deck the day before I won it, and the best way to play Yummy Azamina 40 card version on the Masterclass. You also get a 33-page encyclopedia on how to win. 33 fucking pages written by myself. No AI, because AI cannot do what I do. So let's get straight into this video, and it's just so broken. Either play the hand trap version I show in the encyclopedia down below for 33 bucks, or join and be a member and get it for free, a Metafy member. Metafy members get all this early anyways, or this, which is a full board breaker version, where any 5-card hand without any Charmy or no hand traps will break any board of Radiant, any board of Draco Tail every time, even beats the mirror. So let's get started. And the whole deck is really based on Engage. The card that I have been glazing since day one of its release. This card is so overly powered with Camellia because every time you draw this card or just have it in your deck, you basically make it so Camellia now says it doesn't just get Engage in Hornet, but it says you draw a fucking card. Camellia in this deck, you always at exactly 3 spells go Camellia, send Engage, get Engage. But now what happens when you hard draw the Engage? You are literally getting 2 free fucking draws every time, not to mention all your actual cards. So the whole deck is kind of based around Camellia and making everything a 1 card, 3 spells engrave to make the Camellia always draw, as well as your Engage or Thrust to always draw. I'm playing 1 Hornet as the starter, but I'm also playing Widow Anchor. Widow Anchor would be the 5, but I'm going to start with the starters first. That's the whole premise of the deck, which is why I want to start it. And now every other engine would basically be are all 3 spells engrave immediately. So these are the 9 Mitsurugi starters, and each of the starters search each other. So each of the starters search each other. Each of the starters search each other, not by searching them the normal way of Yu-Gi-Oh, but by drawing them. This deck sees 14 cards every time. What I mean by 14 cards is you draw 5 opening, you draw 5 in the combo, any one of your 33 starters. Yeah, 33 1-card starters in the deck. The encyclopedia is also 33 pages, just saying, and $33. So go check that out down below. It's awesome. Anywho, they all lead to 3 spells. So they all lead to 3 spells, each one of the starters, and then get to the Engage draw. And you draw 5 from the combo, 5 that you open, and then you go Zombie Vampire and mill 4, and Diabell, add back whatever you mill. So you could go Zombie Vampire without Mitsurugi very easily. If you mill, for example, a pre-prep, you could add back the pre-prep and go Mitsu combo. That's how I killed someone, and I'll show how. Because Zombie Vampire, you could use any monster from the opponent as a level 8, which is so broken going second. So you don't even need to open them. You just draw it, and if you at the conclusion of your combo, you have so many. The combo goes set 5 monsters. So these are all the combo cards of it, and the Radiants. Now the Radiants are so godly because if you start with the Radiants, it automatically gives you 3 spells engrave for the Engage. So the Engage draws, the Vision draws 2. So any Radiant card is basically Marshmallow, but it draws 3 fucking cards. Are you serious right now? Like, these are all Marshmallows, but they draw you 3 cards. On top of that, it has the prowess going second, that you get this to get MST. Now you go Engage, they flame, you MST your Engage. Or you activate pre-prep, they negate it, and then you get MST pop it. Like if they try to mandate or flame. So Radiant cards in the format. I knew this shit the second it came out. When I created Radiant Yummy, I told you guys this is the best engine in Yu-Gi-Oh right now for the meta. So when you combine it with cards like Prayers, Pre-prep, Mitsurugi, Ritual, the Radiants make sure these broken ass cards always resolve. And they just so happen to be full Yummy combos. So all these cards thoroughly, like, I couldn't believe the power of it. But now you use these cards to break the boards, and then you go with Cupsy Wupsy and the Yummies afterwards. You could, I guess, if you really wanted to, cut Marshmallow to 1, because all of these are basically what Marshmallow do. They're all special summon full Yummy combo. So that's essentially what Marshmallow does. So if you really want to, you could cut the Marshmallow. But in a 60-card deck, you want to still make sure that you have as many high-quality starters. I'm not playing PB Raise Map in the main deck. The reason why is when you're going second, your Radiants are almost always normal summons going second. Unless you, like, board wipe everything immediately. But These are you're gonna want to normal summon them going second because obviously they'll have some set. So that combined with an Aramasa or a Saji, I did not want to run the risk of P raise map that you have these and a bunch of these you have to like it might conflict at times. But if you treat these as the special summons, that's why I cut Piri raise map from the main deck. But I do side deck 3. The reason why I side deck 3 is going first. These are all special summons. So due to the fact that these are special summons going first, you could allow to play more starters. And a lot of people think that the best thing to do going first is side more interruptions. I have 12 interruptions with any of my 133 one-card starters. Do I really need 13 or 14? So the cards I like to side going first are cards to let you play more or to beat Charmies, for example. And Piri Raise Map not only allows you to play through everything, but it always is almost something going first because these are specials going first. So I think that's how you have to do it. You either side into these or you side the Piri. I think you side Piri Raise Map. With that being said, and the only thing I would change in this deck is just cut two Marshmallow, but for what? So in that case, I would still say keep it because again, everything in this deck is special summon yummy combo. So those are the absolute broken starters of what I showed. You also play one MST, but I'll get to the one-ups later on, like one Mitsurugi rituals and stuff. These are all the one-card starters of the deck. Now the Azamina package, super minor because any yummy leads to them, and because any yummy leads to them, it's like a flow chart. Like yummy is these you get to at the end, the yummies you get to kind of the end, and then you use Radiance and Mitsus to just stop all your opponent's interactions, and then you go into Camellia or add back your engage your Hornet from grave if you have more than 3 spells, or Zombie Vampire, which is next level, and then you get to Yummy, which then you get to this. So everything kind of gets to everything. And these are all one card starter full combo. Even Deception is full combo on its own, everything. And one last thing I'd like to note is this engine makes the Mitsurugi bricks very fucking good because you have 9 Mitsurugi starters, right? Like all these 9, Saji, 2, all these are starters. Well, so are these when you get to these because Deception tributes the Mitsurugi to search. And with Habakiri at 1 now, you do need to play just 3 level 8s. With Habakiri at 1. So it's either 2 Murakuma or 1 of this. But you might as well play this as another name to search. And due to the fact that this is accessible via the entire deck gets to this, which makes it so these always resolve. So you'll always end on prayers and purification no matter what. And obviously they make Zombie Vampire. And a cool thing to note is that this will make D-Mod, Dark Magician Destruction, is level 8. And then if you use a card that's taken by your opponent, for example, Thrust, Illusion Gate, or Widow Anchor, etc., etc., the card, even if it's a level 3, because it's Zombie Vampire, it says take any card controlled by your opponent's level 8. So you could just immediately make Zombie Vampire with how good this card is with the D-Mod. So just keep that in mind because it's very relevant going second, because it makes all your breakers also starters. So these are all the starters, plus these which are good extenders. The deck just needs 2 monsters for Camellia. So hard drawing these are totally fine. They're good actually, because you just want to put shit on board to go Camellia. So in total, I believe it's 33 one-card starters, but 37 decent cards. Now for breakers, I play 17 total. These are the 3-ofs only for Fualos, and now a bunch of 1-ofs that are all searchable, except for Callboy, I guess. So these are the non-engine that you play. You play 17 of these, but the beauty of the deck is you also play 17 non-engine in the actual deck. For example, you play 8 Habakiris, which is Regeki, so you have 8 Regekis. Additionally, on top of that, you have 6 MSTs from the actual MSTs, and you have Engage, Search, Widow Anchor. So you definitely for sure need another target. I think Widow Anchor is the best. I think I want to play Shark Cannon as well, because you go through Engage so often, and with you're playing 5 engines, most likely your opponent will have 1 of the engines. Like, you'll be surprised. There's always something good to take from the opponent's grave. And you just play cross up for the Fua, and I actually side deck into Heavy Slump, which came up once, and it was just next level. So you side deck into Heavy Slump, so that way you have 10 answers to Fualos. So the only way your opponent beats you is Fualos. Post side deck, you have 10 fucking answers. You straight up win the game. And Perulia you ignore in this deck, and Droll's a card that hurts because of Mitsurugi. But if your first action is aware of Droll, you could always put up a good, respectable board to Droll, especially because you have you have 9 one-card Yummy starters without Camellia or a Search, which means that even through Droll, you still have like your protection of that plus everything else. So these are like the 17 non-engine of the starters, plus these 17 is 34. And you always side into 10 more. So you have about 44 board breakers going second, which is fucking absurd. I have more board breakers in my deck, post side deck, than you have cards in your deck. Additionally, starter-wise, a lot of these are also starters going second. For example, Illusion Gate, I cannot. If I had 3 Illusion Gate, I would probably main 3, maybe. These are all starters going second. Illusion Gate in this deck says Regeki plus take your opponent's Radiant Eldom. Take your opponent's. I played 2 Mitsurugi decks. I played Shumping and I played someone else with Mitsurugi. Special Aramasa at Habakiri. After you Regeki everything, it's just next level how it all goes together. So even though like you have, it's like 40 something starters. So post side, you actually play like 40 plus 42 starters. I have more starters in my deck than you have cards in your deck. I have more board breakers in my deck than you have breakers in your deck. It's just so broken of cards. And because there's a lot of discard outlets, you're allowed to have some shitters, if that makes sense. And I play 6 shitters. Minion, Hollowed, 2 spells, and 2 traps. You always get to double tribute because of Deception. And it's very, very good. You need to play one of these. This is for Thrust as well. But the Azamina engine always leads to... The combo draws 5 because of souls. Because of RCL Go, you always end on this plus Wanted no matter what. So it's just free installation for free. And you need some trap to play for Thrust. So these are the 6 shitters. This is not so bad if you draw one of the others. These are not so bad if you draw the Mitsurugi monsters. This is not so bad if you want to discard. But like they're all not the worst. But I'd rather not see them. I like opening the Mitsurugi monsters. Because that means that you could actually tribute them and get value after with Deception. But that is the deck. 60 cards. And I would not change a single thing. Marshmallow was the only one I was thinking about doing. Removing 2 Marshmallow. But the cross out, the Fua, everything. Like, the only way you lose is Fua. So, I love this main deck. Keep the Marshmallows as well. It was perfection, really. I felt everything was almost 3-0. Now, I'll show, I have 10 cards I put in going second. And 5 going first. You put this in to have 10 access to Fualos. And I'm telling you guys, like, it's a 60 card deck, right? I have 33 1-card starters. Why not make it 36 post side? What could the opponent do to this other than Droll? Even Droll, this gets you your Yummy, which Yummy gives you your insulation through Droll regardless. But your opponent cannot actually interact with you. And the lose con is if you draw like 1 or 2 starters and they have 3 hand traps. But if you have, every starter in the deck needs like multiple interactions to deal with. So going first, if you're putting in an engine card, it's pure Raise Map. And I highly recommend doing that instead of putting in like Scourge of the White Forest or like Yummy Assist. I don't need more, you don't need more interruptions to your board. You already have infinite. In fact, you go game 1 and game post side. I can't even set all my spells and traps because I set 5 searched quick play spells or traps. We're talking about Surprise, Prayers, Purification, Simple Spoils Morian, Deception. Like you can't even reset anything. What the fuck else are you gonna put in there? So you don't need that many interrupts when you already auto win the game. Same with monsters. So I'd recommend putting P Raise Map going first if you're playing Radiance because Radiance are normals going second. And then 3 Evenly, 3 Storm, 2 Cyclone. I didn't have a second and third Illusion Gate. Otherwise, I would play 100%. You need to play Illusion Gate. So these 2 are just Illusion Gate. And I know Evenly is weird with Sanctifier. It's not. It's absolutely not. You still play Evenly. Still play Evenly. Because the way they make Sanctifier, you're still in the main phase. So you say enter battle, and they make Sanctifier. So even if you go to battle, even if you waste the Evenly, even then it doesn't matter. They give you a level 8 monster for nothing. And on top of that, if you combine Evenly with many starters, I'm talking about like you activate Evenly, they force something immediately. They can't just make the Sanctifier. Like they have to like go 5 mana, make the Sanctifier, whatever it might be for them to make the Sanctifier. They do some shit, then you could put a monster up, you could do things, and then get rid of your monster. You could SP immediately, make it a card level 8, you could Illusion Gate right after that. So Illusion Gate before you Evenly to get another monster from them. Now you have Zombie Vampire, they're going to let Zombie Vampire resolve. And just like that, from one card or the threat of Evenly, you outed their entire board. Then you can enter battle and get rid of the rest of the background if you want to. I still advise it. On top of that, if you open Droplet or Called By, or a few other cards that just don't make Sanctifier possible, it also is super amazing with Evenly as well. So I still highly recommend the Evenly because you don't need to kill them when you're ending on 12 interruptions. No deck has a better follow-up. That's the side. Incredible. I loved all of it. But the Illusion Gate is super broken. When I resolved it, I couldn't believe it. These 2, just make them your 2 Illusion Gate, second and third Illusion Gate. Extra deck, absolute MVP because of the prowess of it going second, and you always make those Mitsurugi. So when you start Mitsurugi, you go Camellia, Zombie Vampire that to stop it, then you go Camellia. It's auto win. You actually cannot stop this shit. It's too much. I might maybe try to fit Shining Sark in it just to go through this more often, And I also love going into this a little bit earlier in the combo because the opponent might not scoop. So you see exactly what they're playing before they actually scoop. Because most of the time they're going to scoop immediately when they see your 12 plus interruption board. This, and then these are the only links. You don't need Link Karibo. You don't need any other link. You're playing a deck with 10 other engines. These are the God cards. Absolutely incredible. D-Mod, Arcialga, Sylvia. I explain how powerful Arcialga is in the Yummy Encyclopedia on my masterclass. You actually need the card, unless you want Deception to be a brick. Arcialga, it's crazy. You get to draw 3 and get Morians and have a free half body for Camellia. In order for all the Wanted and Black Witch engine to be actually good, you need this because of Camellia. 8, and then Lollipo, Cupsy, Cookie. You don't need the Karibo because you just start Lollipo. So start Lollipo and then go Cupsy. That way you could just forego the Link Karibo. Starham, Arciella, that's the bridge. The Diabell, and then Zalin with Diabell. If you want to cut Diabell and Zalin to save space, you play like an Omega or something, you could. But don't forget the absolute craziness of this. It's so crazy. You Zombie Vampire and then Diabell. Or, because you're playing so many spells and breakers, you still go Diabell and you like get a droplet for free on top of your whole board. That is the video. Guys, the deck was actually incredible. It felt like my YCS win in Peru. Obviously, just a regional, who gives a shit. But in terms of like annihilation, every round was annihilation except for when I played Monarchs and Lunar Lights. Those were tough. It was game 3. And Shumping was the only person who, of the meta decks, he was playing Mitsurugi Striker. It was a very scary deck, but yeah, mine was better. But the actual meta decks I played, Radiance, destroyed every single time. Thank you guys for watching. Check out the Yummy Azamina Encyclopedia Masterclass down below. 33-page encyclopedia for $33. And best deck, baby. That's all I got to say. See you guys in the next video. Peace.